Hey, so I'm doing the starter on my dad's 2006 Porsche Cayenne S, and I was just going to show everybody kind of what you need to do, and if you get stuck where I got stuck, I'll show you what you need to do for that as well. So first thing is just got to take off all the plastic covers around the engine. Then you got to just take off these, which the one on the passenger side, you actually have to remove the bolt that goes through here for the engine torque mount, so you can lift this up to slide that plastic piece out that covers your ignition coils. And you also need to take off both the secondary air pumps. And then after that, there's just a bunch of little things. I took off the throttle body actually, and then everything attaching to that. And then these two hoses, which one of these goes to the intake manifold and the other one just goes from valve cover to valve cover, but it goes over this. So after you get those off, then you take the fuel rail out, and there's just 4 bolts to hold this on. And then once you get those undone, you might be like, all right, well, I don't want to mess up my injectors, but you just pull it straight out. There's no really trick to it. And then after that, you're able to get the intake manifold off. And then once you do all that, you'll get to this point. And then from here, there's the 2 bolts that hold the starter in, which I was actually able to get those out. But then you see this these coolant pipes that run through here, and they are curved in a way that makes you think that you should be able to get the starter out, which it does get really close once you pull it out and move it in a bunch of different ways, but I wasn't able to get it out, and I was messing with it for quite a while. And so what I'm gonna have to do now is take out this. The only reason I was trying to avoid that is just because I didn't want to get coolant everywhere. Just kind of make this job more messy. But the thing about this is you might have it and you might not. I'm pretty sure that this is actually like an updated part. They usually used to have rubber hoses running through here, I think. And then if that's the case, then you can just push those over to pull the starter out, and that would be a lot simpler. But I think that they were deteriorating with the engine heat being, completely submerged in the engine like this. So they updated it to this part now. So as you can see, there's these little tabs on each side. There's actually some marks on this side of, I guess when you put it in, you kind of have to hammer it in there. So now the next thing I'm gonna do is just hammer this out. There were 3 bolts back here holding this side, so this is actually kind of loose. I even tried loosening this up and seeing if I can move it a little bit just to give me room, but since this is metal into the metal here, you really can't move it much, and I wouldn't pry too hard on here because you don't want anything to crack. So the next thing I'm gonna do is take this out, and then it should be pretty simple to just swap the starters. So I'll show you guys when I get there. What's up? My name's Kamal, and today I'm just going to explain how to do the starter replacement on a Porsche Cayenne S. I did this a while ago. This first clip that you guys watched, that was the only clip I had of the whole job, just because I was doing it myself, so it would have been difficult to film and do all the work, because it is a good bit of work that you need to do to replace a starter, which is unfortunate, because when you think of a starter replacement, it's usually easy, but for these motors, they put it in the valley of the engine and between the heads, so it becomes a little bit tricky. The reason we were replacing the starter in the first place was because when my dad would go to start the car, sometimes he'd have to turn the key over 2 or 3 times. Like the first time, it would just kind of thump, kind of like turn over just the hair and then wouldn't start. So if you know your battery's good, then the starter could most likely be the cause. I just looked at a lot of forums and gathered some information and decided that that's what went bad, or what was going bad. Yeah, it's a good bit of work. I'm just gonna throw a picture up and then kind of explain everything you need to do. So once you get to this point, which I know I kind of explained a few things you had to take off, which that in itself is a good bit of stuff to get to this point where you see the coolant pipes. And like I was explaining, originally I guess those coolant pipes were rubber that run from the thermostat housing to the back of the engine there. And I actually remember when this happened to my dad because the car wouldn't start. I guess one of those coolant hoses busted, and when he took it in, they ended up replacing it with this updated part. I'm not really sure if it was a recall, because they didn't cover it for him. I guess it was, they just considered it a technical service bulletin at that point. So the frustrating thing is they do kind of give you that opening there, which makes you believe that you could be able to get the starter out, but I tried every which way to get it out. My dad tried and Miranda tried as well, and we just couldn't get it. So at that point I realized that I would have to remove that updated part. So like I was explaining, how you could see those marks on the little tabs that stick out each side where it was pressed into the thermostat housing. Like in the video I explained, I was going to just, try to tap that out. But when I tried to do that, it really didn't budge at all. And believe it or not, I had a piece of one of the tabs actually break off on me. So at that point I realized, okay, I'm going to have to take off the whole thermostat housing with the pipes in it and just take off the hoses from the back. So what I ended up doing was ordering some more parts, mainly just the gasket for the thermostat housing because I didn't want to take that off and not replace it. In the description I'll list all the parts needed, which basically it's going to be, obviously the starter. I do recommend doing the intake manifold gasket. I didn't actually replace that because since it's not like any fluid going through it, it's not a huge deal, but ours was pretty dirty, and since you already have that off and have access to it, you might as well replace it. And then also the thermostat housing gasket. If there's anything else I can remember, I'll list it in the description below. But anyways, so when you get to this point, now what you're going to need to do is, the first thing is you have this little plastic hose which also has coolant going through it, going to each cylinder head. So you're going to want to take that off. It's kind of tricky because these little clips that hold it on are kind of delicate, so I did take my time in order not to break them. So I advise you to do the same. So once you get that off, I kind of just set that aside out of the way, and then I used 2 hose clamps on the 2 coolant hoses in the front here that are going to the thermostat housing. I used clamps on each one of those, and then I removed the clips, the metal clamps that hold them on, and slid those hoses off. As well, you're going to have to remove this little metal coolant hose that goes to the thermostat housing. There's just that one screw that holds it on, and you can get that hose out using like a pry bar. And as far as I remember, that was pretty much everything at the front there. I don't think there was any connector or anything like that. And then the last thing you have to do is just remove all the screws that hold the thermostat housing down into place, and then it should move at the front. So as far as the back, so on these the updated metal pipe, you still have the rubber hoses connecting to the rear. There's 3 rubber hoses that connect to the metal pipe here. There's this little plastic cover that kind of sandwiches it. There's also like the metal clamps like up front that are on each one of the hoses. So there's like 2 screws that hold on this plastic piece. So I just removed those, removed that plastic piece, and then underneath, then you'll see the hoses. And so you just have to remove those clamps like I was saying and pull those hoses off. And like I was saying in the video, I didn't want to have coolant everywhere, but surprisingly, since this is, I guess, one of the more higher points of the coolant system, I didn't really have a lot of coolant spill out, which was convenient, because by the time you get to this point, your engine's cool and there's no, the coolant's not like under pressure or anything. So you just have to remove those clamps, remove the 3 hoses in the back, and that's pretty much it. You can lift up the updated piping for the coolant and the thermostat housing as one whole thing, and then once you do that, it's pretty easy just to swap out the starter. So while I was in there, I also just used the vacuum, cleaned out any leaves, and used like one of my suction evacuation things to just clear out any residual coolant and just kind of cleaned up the whole area. And then while I was in there, I also just cleaned up the area where the intake manifold sits here on the cylinder heads. As you can see, there's quite a bit of carbon buildup in there. I didn't really tackle much of that. Just kind of scraped a little bit as I could. Nothing really major for cleaning that up. The only other thing I was going to mention is your injector rail with all your injectors. Well, I had that out. Just use brake clean and kind of clean those up. And you can use like a small toothpick, and when you look at the injectors, you can see the small holes. I just kind of tried to clean those up as best as I could, which is not a bad thing since you have them out and you have access to them. And once I did finish this repair, my dad actually did say that he felt like the car was driving better and running smoother than it was. So all those little things, I guess, can make a little bit of a difference. So while you're in there, I guess it's not a bad idea to just clean up what you can. As far as the starter, after we did this, the car started up instantly when turning the key. So that did end up being what was wrong with the car. So I just want to say thanks for watching this video. I guess this video is either going to deter people from really trying to tackle this on their own, because it is a much bigger job than you think a starter would be, or hopefully this will help anyone that does want to tackle the job on their own. Yeah, you need like a decent amount of tools to do this, but if you're really into doing DIY stuff, then you should be able to handle it no problem. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if this was helpful, and thanks for watching. I'll see y'all soon and be posting more Porsche stuff as it comes. So thank you, and see y'all later. Peace.